Everyone stop everything you're doing because we are coming to Europe on tour.
Yay! Trash Taste Europe Tour 2023 is happening. We hinted it in a previous episode, but now it is official. We are selling tickets right now. Click the link down in the description below.
Joey, where are we going?
I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you right now. August 30th, Dublin, Ireland. September the 2nd, Copenhagen, Denmark. September 4th, Amsterdam, Netherlands, which is already sold out, so thank you very much, guys. September the 5th, Stockholm, Sweden. September 6th, Oslo, Norway. September 7th, Berlin, Germany. September 9th, London, UK. And September the 11th, Cardiff, Wales. Woo! We are going to all of those locations right now. Tickets are available, but they're going fast. Click the links down in the description below. Do it.
I'll see you there.
Hello, and welcome to another special episode of Trash Taste.
You sound like midnight radio right now. We're going for the jazz classics at 2 a.m.
Yeah, I'm your host for today, Garnt, and joining me once again are the boys, Connor.
This is one of those episodes where I just feel like saying some outrageous shit.
Say it. Okay. Say it. Say it slow right now.
No, okay, well that's not.
Okay, not that far, not that far.
I'm not going to go that far with it.
All right, I'll start off with a topic.
Sure.
Then.
Okay.
I finally watched the Mario movie.
Oh, thank you.
Me too.
So, I thought you were going to say something outrageous. I was like, well,
no.
I've done that. Yeah, that's...
I watched it in IMAX 3D.
Oh, how was it?
It was fucking awesome.
Why IMAX 3D?
Because the option was there at my local cinema, and I was like, well, I don't even remember the last time I watched an IMAX movie, let alone a 3D movie. I didn't even know they were still making 3D movies.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, because I thought...
just like, fuck it, no more.
No, because like 3D movies were like kind of like a phase. Yeah,
Well,
like,
it was definitely a phase.
They were
a fad.
everywhere at one point and a fad, and like 3D TVs and shit like that were like a phase as well.
I mean, every movie is basically like shot in 3D now.
Yeah.
Well, not sorry, it is filmed. Then they're like, oh, you can. This thing pops out at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have watched 2 movies in 3D in the cinema, and both of them start with A.
All right. I'm glad we understood that. I watched it too. I liked it.
I really enjoyed it.
Saying this, I watched it, and you know, sometimes when you watch a movie and you pretty much just agree with what everyone already says, you're like, damn, I'm not special.
Yeah. Okay. So what was the general consensus with that film? Because I didn't look at any reviews or anything. Do people like it?
Yeah, people liked it.
Yeah, people liked it.
People said that Chris Pratt was fine.
Yeah.
A lot of the voice
Jack Black killed it.
Yeah, Jack Black.
Holy shit. He did not need to go that hard as Bowser. I'm sorry. You know, some people were just like, you know, I'm just getting my paycheck. And Jack Black's just like, no, I was built for this role, actually.
He really
Such a
was.
theater kid. He like over delivers on like everything. But that's why he's so good.
It was just like a Tenacious D role at one point, you know, like
that scene where Bowser's just playing the piano and singing the song.
Yeah.
Oh my god, where did that come? Do you think that was actually scripted, or did Jack Black just show up in the studio one day and was like, I got a thing.
I have a rejected Tenacious D song. I want in this film.
I'd like to think that they cast him, and then halfway through it, they're like, "Hey, Jack, and he's like, "Of course, of course." That made me like irrationally happy. I was so happy when that happened.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Yeah.
It was just so fun.
Yeah, and
good movie.
The insane thing is, like, out of everyone, I think he sounded the least like himself normally.
Yeah,
like
he's done a lot of work.
Yeah, he put in a lot of work.
Actually, I forgot his name. Toad.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. He did not sound like Michael Keaton.
No.
Good movie.
I almost forgot at one point that that was Michael Keaton. I was like, oh yeah,
it was good.
Why does he sound like that though?
Yeah, I will say Seth Rogen definitely sounded like Seth Rogen.
Yeah, but Seth Rogen sounds like Seth Rogen in every movie.
It was an interesting choice.
Yeah, I was like, yo, Donkey Kong just hit the fucking blunt, man. Yo,
Tanky Bong.
Tanky Bong.
I definitely agree with the take of like, as a movie, it's like fine, like it's okay, but as like a piece of fan service, it's fantastic.
Oh yeah,
I think just because Nintendo have just starved the world of anything that's not video games for their like characters.
Yeah,
well, everyone wants to forget about the '90s live action film. You know?
Yeah, like you know, the closest we got to like decent acting or anything that was good was like the porn Mario movie.
Yeah, because like I will say like I came into the Mario movie with almost zero expectations, just because I didn't really know what to expect from a Mario movie. Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you make a plot out of Mario? Like, I had no idea where this could go, and I mean, this has been
Princess gets kidnapped. Mario goes to save.
It was very like a very hero's journey, basic story. Parents didn't agree with what he does. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
You've seen it all before. The story's not special whatsoever. It's very boring.
Yeah.
But if you like Mario, it's fun. You get to see all the references.
I will say it was just super surreal because I couldn't see a movie like this existing 15 years ago, because the entire thing just felt like a meme. I'm not gonna lie, this felt like a product of the internet, and I can't put my finger on why it felt like that, but it feels like this movie was made for like meme culture and just for kind of like internet and maybe Zoomer culture in general. I don't know.
I imagine like probably people working on it probably grew up with that kind of humor and the games and stuff.
Definitely the part where I was just like, where the fuck did that come from? Was the suicidal Luma? Do you remember that character?
Oh yeah.
I was like, where the fuck? Because like, there's no, because Aki was like, so is there like a character like that in Mario Galaxy? I was like, no.
Well, not like that. I also realized that if you don't like care about Mario that much, the movie's kind of ass.
It is.
It's kind of like, oh, I don't. Okay,
it's just like another Illumination.
It was like, it was like the 15th reference to the size of Mario's scrotum. Thank you for that. I'm going to continue. Like, I don't know. It was fine. I was happy.
Yeah, I was happy. I came in not knowing what to expect, but just knowing I would get a bunch of Mario references and maybe some inside jokes, and that was basically the entire movie. It was the highest budget Newgrounds Flash animation I've ever seen in my life. Because some of those scenes where, they just fucking, I think they start playing Beastie Boys or something at one point, and I'm just like, what is this doing in a Mario movie?
Yeah, the Aha Take on Me segment was a little bit weird.
Oh yes,
that was kind of unexpected. But yeah, as like a certified Nintendo kid, I think it was really just like one huge fan service to like the Nintendo fan base. But like, I think they also did it in a really cool way because like there was just so many fucking Easter eggs in that film. Yeah, especially like musical Easter eggs. Like every time like a new like Mario would get like a new power up or like there'd be like a new stage or whatever, they would like do this really cool thing with, I don't know who did the soundtrack, but whoever it was, they're fucking goated because like they just so seamlessly incorporated little bits and pieces of like musical Easter eggs into it. Like when Mario got like the Tanuki suit, and for a split second you can hear the Mario 3 theme, and I'm like, that's fucking cool. As like a Mario fan.
Yeah, I noticed the Luigi Mansions theme coming on when Luigi was like by himself. I was like, oh.
And like Rainbow Road as well, when they get to Rainbow Road and the Rainbow Road theme starts playing. I'm just like, that's cool.
I was like, oh, neurons activating. Oh, okay. I know this game.
It almost didn't feel like an officially licensed thing. It very much felt like if you'd have told me like a fan had made it, I'd be like, yeah, that checks out. Because the whole, like the one part I did find kind of weird was just the whole Mario Kart segment. I was just kind of like, all right, sure, that is a game.
It kind of felt like they would. At
points, they were like, what else we got? Mario Kart. Everyone loves Mario Kart. Put it in.
Kind of just felt like they just were writing the movie as they went along. So they were like, we need to put a Donkey Kong here. Oh, okay, let's go to Donkey Kong Country. Okay, Mario Kart. Let's do Mario Kart. Rainbow Road. Okay,
and then they get eaten by a whale.
For some reason, this could have been the most 1 out of 10 movie, and it probably still would have popped off. I don't know. I mean, it's fine. So that's our like 9-month late discussion of the Mario movie.
So we all watched it. We all enjoyed it. It was good.
Yeah. I also watched. I guess because we're on movies. I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. I heard it's the first good Phase 5 movie or the new like post Endgame movie.
Well, Phase 5 of whatever it is, a disease. It feels like it's fine. It was all right.
And that's the review. Thank you very much for joining in.
Like I don't know. I don't know if like learning about it because I was not going to watch it initially because because like I watched 1 and 2. 1 was very fun. 2, I just found so boring.
Yeah.
I don't know if did you?
I've seen the first 2. Yeah.
Did you like 2?
I thought it had its moments, but at the same
it was
time,
weaker than one, right?
yeah. At the same time, I'm like, well, one had the magic because it had this new thing going on. It had
Music
like a
was fun.
fucking amazing soundtrack.
Yeah.
And two was just like, all right, we're gonna do a little more of the same, but not too much different. And I'm like, okay, well, it's good popcorn movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes,
how's
there's-
Is Guardians of the Galaxy the one with Groot?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I've
And he
never
looks
seen
like
it.
a fucking Roblox character in this one, and I just could not stop laughing every time I saw him. Yeah, it was fine. I mean, like, it was not the most compelling movie ever. The music was fun. It was great. It was long,
right?
very long. The villain I thought was fucking stupid, and he just all he does is just scream all the time. I don't know.
I can't believe we just talked about 2 Chris Pratt movies.
Yeah.
Like I actually found Chris Pratt pretty likable in this one.
Yeah.
He was okay.
He's a likable guy in Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, that's how
He's
he.
okay. Like what's his name? Fucking Drakthar, whatever. What is the killing guy, the one who shouts?
Oh yeah.
He's still the
Baptista.
Yeah, he's still like the best guy in that film.
Oh yeah.
Every
Far
time he's on
beyond.
screen, I did get a chuckle. He was pretty good. He carried the film for me. Yeah, it was fun. It's fine.
Yeah.
6, 7 out of 10, maybe. It's not like a 10 out of 10, like everyone say. I don't know where people get that from.
I think everyone. I haven't seen it, so I think everyone's just so starved of good
Yeah,
Marvel movies.
I think it's just people have just been, like Marvel fans have just been cucked
Yeah.
for like 5 years now. That they're just like, oh, something. Thanks, James Gunn. I can't wait for the next film, right?
Yeah.
Right, James Gunn? Right? We're making another
Yeah.
Marvel film, right? So yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
I wonder if DC was pissed. They were like, why the fuck did you make a good film when you're leaving them? What the fuck's wrong with you? Phone it in.
Well, isn't he doing a new Flash movie as well or something?
I saw the trailer for that.
Did you see it where they're like this? Because obviously, if you don't know anything about the Flash movie, Ezra Miller plays the Flash, and obviously Ezra Miller is a very notorious actor. I don't know if you follow any of the.
Kind of a douchebag. Yeah.
Well,
is an understatement to say
straight
the
up
least.
just committed crimes, just, like punched people in the face.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a fucked up guy. I mean, you can on screen now. We can get the list of some things. He's a fucking asshole, and well, supposedly, and there was like articles being like, "This is gonna redeem Ezra Miller." And it's like, what the fuck? Why do we have to redeem him? Why can't we just get someone else who like isn't contentious? And then all the critics are like, "This is the best film ever," and it's like, why? Like you could, I don't know. Maybe it's a PR thing. Maybe it's like a big brain, galaxy brain PR move because no one's gonna give a fuck about a Flash movie unless you get some asshole to play him.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. It's. I feel like okay. I've been noticing a kind of. I don't know if it's like a trend or just a thing that's happened recently in Hollywood. Because I don't know if they've obviously done this before, but I think so much like AAA movies now, like the Mario movie, like the new Flash movie, it plays off so much nostalgia hype. Because a lot of people are getting hype about this new Flash movie because Michael Keaton returns as Batman, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's the GOAT, it's the OG
Okay, but, like,
Batman."
who actually cares about that other than like diehard fans?
I'm sure a lot of people care about that because to a lot of people, Michael Keaton was like their first Batman that they saw on
Yeah,
screen.
but like
right?
that's like our age group that wouldn't really appeal to us.
Yeah,
right. Like
yeah.
we're like fucking Christian Bale fanboys.
Yeah.
that's the Batman we grew up with, right? That's
Yeah,
the one
yeah.
We got. So it's like,
Actually, for me, it was George Clooney.
well, I'm just
The greatest fucking Batman film with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
yeah, because I'm just
oh,
wondering.
yeah, that's a movie.
Yeah.
that's a movie.
Because like let's be honest, we enjoyed the Mario movie, right? But if like you just said, if we had no
Yeah, if I didn't, yeah.
if you had no nostalgia about Mario, it would have been a shit movie.
Yeah, no,
nobody
100%.
would have given a shit about
100%,
it.
yeah.
Same thing with like the Sonic movie as well. I've watched the Sonic movie, and the only reason I enjoyed the Sonic movies was because I am familiar with the Sonic franchise, not because I actually think that they are good movies.
When I went to the theater to watch Sonic, there was actually kids there. When I went to watch the Mario one, there was no kids there.
That
It
checks
was
out.
all adults.
Says a lot about society.
Yeah, that checks
I don't know what they're trying to say about Sonic. I think actually the Sonic movie was a better movie for kids. Mario movie, if you didn't play enough Mario, I just feel like you just wouldn't get half the movie. I mean, you probably kids are. I mean, there's so much fucking. It's so vibrant and light that I'm sure 10-year-old me would eat that shit up even if I didn't know what Mario was. But I mean, I don't know.
I think though with the Sonic stuff, like it's because like I think Sonic has done a better job of franchising themselves more to a younger audience because like they have like the Sonic Boom animation, right? Like the TV show that they have.
Have you ever watched that?
I have. Yeah. I've seen like a compilation of like Knuckles saying fucked up shit in the show. It's so funny. It's like How is this a kid's show?
Yeah, the writers go hard on that shit.
Yeah.
But I think because they've like, capitalized on that, whereas Mario hasn't really done anything like that.
Yeah.
I think that's where it's like, oh, there's a fucking Sonic movie. Well, I've seen it as cartoons on, Sunday morning TV, so I'll take my kids to go watch it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
with Mario, it's like, well, I fucking played this game 30 years ago, and I want to see what it looks like today.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How long do you think it's gonna take before they make a Pokemon movie that's not like Detective Pikachu, like a straight up? This is a Pokemon movie, because I'm calling it now, because the Mario movie did really fucking well in box offices. There must be someone in Nintendo that's having this conversation right now, if not like 2 years ago.
If they just made Black and White into a movie, it'd be such a good movie.
Yeah.
But they would never, because that's like the most mature Pokemon plot we've ever had. And it's about like, is enslaving Pokemon okay, and should we do it? It's not going to be that.
What if they just remade the first movie, but like with the fucking budget of today's stuff?
Yeah, true. I mean,
I'd be down for that.
The first movie is very good.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Pokemon already has animated movies anyway, so it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to change that into live action. So it would take actually less effort than doing the fucking Mario
Just get
movie.
Chris Pratt to voice Ash, right?
No, Chris Pratt, not
Seth
even
Rogen is Brock.
Not even voice Ash. Just play him live action. Chris Pratt has a 14-year-old Ash, or however old Ash is now.
He would get cast in that.
He's like 10.
You joke, but he would.
Ash is like 10.
No, because you just know it would just turn into a bunch of references. It would be like, whoa, pass me the jelly-filled donut. Whoa, don't go there. Don't go to Lavender Town. Whoa, play the poker flute. Whoa, Snorlax is in our way. Whoa. You know what I mean? It would just be like, I want to die. So let's not. Let's
not do that.
Yeah, but that worked for the Mario movie.
It did work, and I'll watch it if they bring it in Pokemon. And I'll probably like it. And I hate that I like it. I hate that it works on me. I'm a fucking idiot. You know what does suck, though?
What?
I can't watch Oppenheimer in Japan.
Yeah, me and Connor were having dinner, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so excited for Oppenheimer to come out." And he's like, "I don't think it's getting released in Japan." I was like, "Why isn't it getting released in Japan?" And
I'm like, sips beer. Why do you think, Garnt? Why do you think the story about Oppenheimer is not being released to Japanese theaters, Garnt? I don't know. Let's start thinking.
it was just that, aha moment. But Christopher Nolan, though. that's freaking Japan. Christopher Nolan. It's let's.
I mean, realistically, I mean, it is a shame because it's not like it's like glorifying it in any capacity.
No, it's supposed to be like a tragedy, right?
Well, I mean, it's a horrific event.
Yeah, it's a horrific event. Yeah,
and I think there's a way that I'm sure knowing Christopher Nolan, he'll have a take on it that is interesting. And I don't know. But I could also understand you just being like, let's just not. So I get it. I get both sides.
Was Pearl Harbor ever released in Japan?
I mean, I've watched movies about World War II in Japanese theaters. Like they clearly they play them from both perspectives. They're not.
I think it might have been. Yeah. Like
Can you check that guy? Because if Pearl Harbor was released in Japan, then I have hope for Oppenheimer.
I mean, it makes more sense to release Pearl Harbor in Japan than Oppenheimer, right?
Like, I mean, because the
Japanese will be like, yeah, we fucked.
I think
let's go.
I think it's a very different perspective.
Whereas with Oppenheimer, it's like, no, we don't want to talk about that.
I don't know if you've seen Pearl Harbor.
Have you watched Pearl Harbor, Cherry? I think it's a very different perspective. It's on a scoreboard.
Japan won.
You're the only one. You're the only one at this table who can say that. Right?
It's like a sports game, guys. It's like, oh my god,
we got the advantage.
Well, they what's that? I watched another movie recently that came out that was like of the perspective of one of the pilots and who it was like a goated pilot who would just kill, I guess, Japanese people and stuff. And I watched that in the cinemas, and I was like, this is weird. But it got released. Go on, Kai, you're gonna.
Oh no, it was released.
It was released in Japan. Okay.
Well, then there's hope.
I mean, the thing is that nuclear stuff in Japan is still a contentious topic to this day. Especially after 2011 as well. Even more so. So I mean, I can understand it, and also I imagine it's more of a decision on the American side as opposed to the Japanese side. The American side might be like, let's not.
Yeah, I mean,
I have no idea.
from the Googling that I did, it hasn't been confirmed that it's like not getting released. There just hasn't been a release date yet. So
Which
maybe
is weird, though.
Yeah,
even like John Wick, we knew we were getting fucked and it was coming out in September.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird that the Mario movie was released here weeks after everyone else. I'm like,
Yeah.
how does that make sense? Like, this is a Japanese IP and we're getting it after everyone else?
That just goes to show how slow paperwork in Japan is. It's like, we own the IP and we still got it later.
Couldn't even get the Mario movie. God.
Yeah, I do want to know what the inner workings behind that is, because I watched it just with subtitles. I'm like, why did this take a month? I'm feeling like this could have been done on Fiverr in an hour. I really don't think this needed to be that deep.
I don't know, man. I don't think you've ever done translation work before,
Yeah.
man. Because like I watched it with subtitles as well, and I was, every now and then I was kind of like reading the Japanese subtitles, because a lot of the jokes are very American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like very pun related,
Yeah.
very like idiom
Yeah.
related. And so I was watching some of the subtitles for it as they were telling some of these like jokes, and I'm just like, I don't think Japanese people are gonna find this funny.
Yeah,
Like legitimately, like I was reading the subtitles and I'm like, where's the joke? Because it's like really hard to, fucking be like, oh, fucking Mario's mushroom is like really big and like, all these like fucking dick and balls jokes, and I'm just like, it just
Nice
doesn't,
cock, man.
it just doesn't really
Nice
work.
cock.
When like I remember like one of the lines like Bowser was like, love really makes me come out of my shell, and I'm just like, all right, first of all, shut the fuck up, Bowser, and second of all, I was reading that in the subtitles, and I'm like, they just like they just gave up on that part.
Oh, they were
Oh,
yeah, they were just like, we
Well,
don't
some-
know how to
Some
translate.
jokes you can't really translate, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I did notice that. How much did the audience laugh in your viewing of the Mario movie?
There was only another couple in our.
It was only me, like giggling away at like Jack Black.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was watching the Mario movie and like for 90% of it, everyone was fucking like dead silent. Right?
No, that's
like,
Japan.
Huh?
That's Japan.
Yeah, and then like it's like every time that I thought there was clearly like a joke there. Like the one thing that stands out to me the most is, as someone like, kind of like edits jokes in my own videos, there's a certain like pacing and rhythm when a joke's being told. Like when you have really epic music and then you cut to silence, like when with the scene of like the penguins throwing shit, like everyone was like dead silent, and then they would just like randomly laugh at like really like when there was like zero joke there, like when Mario was just like running, doing like the montage, people just started laughing. I was like, what? Where's the joke? This is the hero's moment.
Yeah,
what?
Welcome to the Japanese theater experience.
Yeah.
I go like every week, and I swear to God, if you just have like a random number generator at any point, odds are like that's the only time they'll laugh. Like you just stop it and they're like, all right, it's frame where nothing's happening, and they're like, so what? I watched the movie Air. It's about how Air Jordans were made.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, fuck it, I'll just go watch it, see how it is.
Yeah.
And also, one thing I found funny is that, Chris Tucker, right, from like Rush Hour.
Yeah.
He was doing, his Chris Tucker-esque acting.
Oh, okay.
Which is like super fast talking,
Yeah.
slang. And I was like trying to read the subtitles, and I was like, there's no way they could translate what he's saying, like in a way that is like cohesive in Japanese.
Yeah.
Because he's just like making a bunch of really like, Chris Tuckerisms.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, this is gonna be so weird for a Japanese person to see this translated. It must just be like translating like sterile English or something. I don't know. That was good. That was a fine movie. Really weird though. They never showed Michael Jordan once, but they had like it was very weird.
It's too expensive to get on, probably.
Well, yeah, they it was a weird movie. I don't know if anyone else has watched the movie. I was just like, why don't they just show Michael Jordan?
I mean, I like going to flip that around. I sometimes get that feeling when I'm watching like an anime, and I'm like, I feel like I'm getting half of the experience here because they sound like they for something, let's say like Monogatari or like other anime where it's just like I feel like there is more to this dialogue than I can comprehend in the subtitles right now, but there is no possible way I can actually like fully take it in without just becoming better in Japanese.
Yeah, that's why like at least with like Monogatari, I've always said it was a fucking miracle that there's even a fan base for it outside of Japan, because it's like it's already such a niche fan base in Japan, let alone trying to translate that type of writing into English that still holds on to its meaning and makes it just as good.
Yeah.
Is like I always wonder, I'm like, who are these fans of Monogatari that like watched these episodes and was like, yes, I gleaned enough meaning out of this for me to like it.
Oh well, I think that just comes down to the writing was just so good that even if you didn't glean everything, you still got like a good enough idea to be like, oh, this is still good.
Yeah.
And maybe just like a fuck ton of translators notes back in the day, if we remember that stuff.
Sure, yeah.
I think the biggest, hardest part was for me sometimes is when there are sometimes where there's so much dialogue and it's speaking so fast, and I'm like, I am breaking the limit trying to keep up with these subtitles,
Fucking
man.
first episode of Tatami Galaxy.
Oh my god, that's just like machine gun, like it goes like
That was Rap God before
microseconds.
Rap God was a thing.
Oh yeah, that fucking thing.
So like I don't know how easy it is to like read, like translate from English to Japanese and be able to like read the subtitles as fast, because some actors have certain mannerisms and way of speaking that I'm like, I don't think this slang exists in Japanese, man.
No.
And you're always gonna get something lost in translation as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but what else you guys been up to, man? You just came back from
I had a little vacation.
Italy, right?
I went to Italy. It was fun.
Yeah. Why did you just wanted to go to Italy, or?
Well, yeah, because the rest of our year is gonna be pretty rammed, and I was gonna go pretty hard with work anyway. And I thought, you know what, fuck it, I'll take a little time off. I'll spend a week. I'll go to Italy and I'll just chill out, literally do nothing, like do no work, which is crazy to think.
Imagine
you doing no work. How dare you?
Yeah, so I just went to Italy. I rented a car and then drove around and ate food all day. Dude,
sounds sick.
coffee game is unimaginable in Italy.
Wait, which part of Italy were you? North or south?
North.
Okay,
I drove around the north. I just basically I was like, I like this food. Where does it originate from in Italy? And so I went there. So like, I love like Genovese sauce.
Yeah.
I love that. So I was like, I'm gonna go to Genova because that's where it's from. And I had like just an ungodly amount of pesto. It was so fucking good, dude. It was, oh my God, it was unreal. I went to Bologna, because that's where bolognese sauce comes from. Which I wasn't a big fan of bolognese sauce, but they do it, and it was unreal how hard they do it. Dude, it's like I've been to Italy before, so I knew the pasta was good, but I just don't remember it being that good. It was like,
what do you mean?
It was like, I think I was like 16, 17, 18. I didn't appreciate it, and now after eating pasta a lot in Japan, I'm like, and I thought it was pretty good here. Like, I thought it was all right. And then going to Italy, I'm like, it's not even the same league.
Not even close.
It's like, it's like the kindergartners versus the pros. It's not even like, I don't know how. It's just flour. Like, how is this so different? Like, this is crazy. But like and that pastas I've just never even heard of. Like, what the fuck is this? And they're like, actually, it's a sack inverted of pasta, and we stuff it. And I'm like, what? Okay, yeah, give me that.
Hell yeah.
And like I said, like the coffee is unreal.
How much coffee did you have?
Eight espressos a day. Just because like
8 espresso. Oh my God.
Just because like, dude, you go anywhere and people offer you espressos. It's so bizarre, right? So like,
Connor's like, why is my resting heartbeat at 120?
yeah, for sure. But like, I had the lowest heart rate in Italy. Like,
yeah,
for
probably.
sure. Like I was driving, and like the first areas I drove around, like I needed the car, but then after that it was kind of annoying to have a car, so I
ran.
Yeah, I just got the trains because it was pretty good.
Oh,
after
trains,
that. Because
okay.
Super annoying. You couldn't really like go around. You had to go back into like Milan and then go back.
Right.
So I was just like, fuck this. So I drove the first part. You know where I went to actually?
Oh.
Fuck it, I got it later. You know where I went to? And I guess this all started because of you. Is that you remember when you bought us the Barolo wine?
Yeah.
I went to Barolo. I was
Shit.
So I went to
You
Barolo.
got some Barolo wine?
Yeah.
Dude, it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was
hell yeah.
so Barolo is such a cool area. I'm talking like fucking son of that guy. It's basically just like this really like picturesque, sprawling hills, really beautiful. I rented a Vespa as well.
Oh, fuck
Drove
yeah.
that around.
Now we're talking.
That was
Now
really
we're
fun.
talking.
That was super high.
Yeah.
Like, dude, Italians just also like, okay, there's so much to talk about. Italians just don't give a fuck, full stop, ever. I go to rent this Vespa. Dude just didn't ask me for anything. He was just like, come back in like a few hours. And then I was like, do you need to see my driving license? He was like, oh, yeah. And I was like,
oh, thanks for reminding me.
Okay,
yeah, I do. And he was like, oh, just give me 50 euros, then come back later. I'm like, all right, okay. So just, it was like, everyone was just super chill about everything. But yeah, no, like, so as I was saying, coffee everywhere. Like I got on this train and I booked like, I don't know, like the nicer version of the train carriage or whatever.
Right.
And I sit down at this train, I get on, this guy comes up to me, he's like, hey, do you want an espresso? And I was like,
He's just like carrying an espresso.
it's just like the guy who works there. And I was like, oh, Oh yeah, sure. Okay, I'll take an espresso.
Yeah.
Connor can never say no to espressos.
That was it was like supersized me, but for espressos. It was like my rule was I wasn't allowed to say no to any espressos
I
offered to
have
me.
to take every espresso.
If someone offers me a coffee, I
Was
have
it
to
good
drink
on
it.
the train though?
Super good.
Really?
Dude, this is the thing that I learned about Italy. It doesn't matter how dog shit the area or the building or whatever your place is in. It could be like the most run down. Like everything had an espresso machine in it and a good one. Like I'm convinced people who are like can't afford their rent or whatever. They're like, damn, I'm homeless, but I'm not an animal. Holds espresso machine. You know what I mean? Like it's like I went. So then I went on the train as well, and I went to like the food compartment where you can get food. It was barren. There was nothing.
Yeah.
It was like 2 bags of crisps. But of course, there was just a giant, one of those really massive espresso.
pristine ones.
They're like and they're everywhere. And I'm like, can I get a cappuccino? And he's like, of course. Makes me a cappuccino. Every cappuccino was like €1 as well. I was like, this is fucked up. This is so cheap. Everywhere it makes coffee amazing. Like everywhere does
Does
coffee.
the Italian government just give each new resident of Italy just like an espresso?
Yeah,
It's like subsidized.
Yeah,
It
I
comes
think-
with every house.
like,
you know?
welcome to the country. Here's your espresso
There's
machine.
got to be something I'm missing because like those machines are expensive, but they're everywhere. Everyone has
damn.
one. And it's so good because
Where
like
the taxpayer money is going.
yeah. So like I landed I got in the airport and I stayed at the airport hotel, like one nearby. And I stay in this hotel and I wake up and I go to the breakfast and I was kind of I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of heartbroken because I went for the breakfast.
Yeah.
And there was like, it said American coffee. And it's just in this like just jug. And I was like, duh. So I pour it and I start drinking because I need coffee.
Yeah.
And then I see people getting cappuccinos. I'm like, oh fuck. They're to
Salvation.
I'm like, what? And they're like, oh, they're just to order. Fuck, I'm an idiot. So then I was like, I fucking poured this thing and I drank it all. And I was like, no, one of my coffees, I've wasted it. And it was insane.
One of my 8 a day.
one of my 8 a day.
That was wasted on
I was like, fuck.
on an American coffee.
Oh, it's so good. It was just like the coffee game in Italy is just the best I've ever had in my life. It's just the amount that everyone drinks and as well as like everyone just cares. There's no like chains anywhere. It's all just like everyone just knows how to make good coffee and there's good.
I didn't have to go
That's
to a
how you know
single
it's good.
Starbucks.
No, I actually there is a Starbucks roastery, like one of the reserve ones, the
Right.
fancy ones in Milan, which I checked out because I was like, I wonder what Starbucks looks like in Italy because it's got to be like, it's got to be good, right?
It has to be
because
good.
you're in Italy,
You'd hope
right?
so.
Well,
I
that's like saying McDonald's has to be good in America, right? Surely, surely.
No.
Yeah,
because I literally had like an hour to kill, and I was like,
Yeah.
it's right next to where I was staying. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna have a look. And then I went to the because they had like they do alcohol drinks in that Starbucks.
Oh.
Do they?
Yeah, so I
I
had
suppose
like,
this is Europe. Yeah.
yeah, I had the like the espresso martini that they made with olive oil and shit. It was fucking bomb. It was so good,
God damn.
dude. But yeah, I pasta every single day for lunch and dinner.
How much
Because
weight did you gain?
I don't know. I haven't checked. I'm not looking. It's like, dude, I remember this as well, but like Italians eat a lot, or at least because you go to the every dinner they have the like first course, which is like normally like just pasta, and then
Yeah.
you get a main, but the pasta is like the size of what I would consider to be a main.
Yeah.
So normally I'm eating just 2 main dishes and a fucking starter every night. I'm like
Yeah.
dying, but it's so good that I can't stop. And every night I was just in pain, like, oh, I can't do it again. Proceeds to immediately do it again.
Yeah.
But it's so good. And man, Italy is just like, I just felt like when I was there, I was like, man, this is just Southeast Asia.
Wait,
of Europe.
What?
Hold on. How did
Because, right? Because,
how did you get there?
because there's fucking mopeds everywhere. The mopeds run Italy. Like, they were just fucking everywhere.
Like Vespers?
Yeah, and there was no parking for like bicycles, only parking for like Vespers. And it was just, again, everywhere. There's so many of them.
Right.
It reminded me of when I was in Thailand. And then also everyone's loud, very loud. You go to like a nice family restaurant and everyone is... it's like a different... It's like enthusiastic.
Right,
I wouldn't
right,
say
right.
loud as in like obnoxious, more like everyone's with their family.
Cheery.
And they are very, very loud.
How's the driving over there? That's the real test.
Yeah, they're insane. They don't...
They don't give a fuck.
I'm pretty sure the rules are a suggestion.
Okay.
Because like I think they have like an autobahn, but I don't know if they realize there is a speed limit on it. Because I was going the speed limit and I was the slowest person on the road.
Yeah.
Dude, and like no one indicates ever. Just
Okay.
ever. Like no one fucking indicated.
Okay. Feeling at home
ever.
now? Feeling at home? All right.
Yeah,
all
that's
right.
sounding more like
Yeah.
Thailand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
here. I'm like I'm just in Southeast Asia, but in Europe. and it's hot. You know, the only thing it's missing is like super spicy food.
Yeah.
But like it was, it just reminded me so much of Southeast Asia.
Hello, my
Thailand.
fellow Italians.
Yeah,
now I know. Like I've always wanted to go to Italy anyway. I kick myself that I never went to Italy when I actually lived in fucking Europe. But it's just the fucking thing. Grass is greener on the other side.
The only problem for you is that you have to eat the crust.
Yeah, okay. Here's the thing, Joey. Here's the thing. The crust, I can eat the crust if the crust is good.
Yeah.
Okay, but 90% of the times, if you are in a fucking party and you order crust from like Pizza Hut or Domino's, I'm like, nah, this is not good crust, all right? But if it's like fresh Italian pizza,
I only had like pizza once. I should pasta all the time.
I would have a lot of pasta as well.
Yeah,
and it's so good and it's so like varied, right? Like,
Yeah.
I love pizza, but you know.
Yeah, pasta definitely has more variety for sure.
There's way more types of pasta I found as opposed to. I mean, like pizza's very varied, but it's at the end of the day, it's some fucking like.
I remember as well when I went to North Italy, the seafood there was also really fucking good.
Yeah, I had a lot of seafood. Whenever there was fish on the menu, I would just order it.
Oh, the seafood pasta up there
It was really good.
so good.
Grilled fish was so good. They were big fish too.
God, you're getting me hungry, man. You're getting me so hungry.
It was very good. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, privileged, very, very privileged to be able to go there and enjoy it. It was fucking bomb. Yeah, it was great. I there's nothing. I don't really have much to say about it.
Yeah, when was the last time you went to Italy before, like going back this time?
I think I skied over from France and spent like a day.
Skied over?
Yeah, you can ski.
Oh yeah,
from France to Italy.
Okay.
Some of the things.
Ski slopes and borders. Yeah,
that was the last time I went. But I think the last time I actually went to Italy was I think I went skiing there in like I think Turin or something when I was younger. But again, I was like 17, 16. I didn't, I was just like, when you're at that age, you're like, I just want to play DS.
Facts. God damn.
I didn't appreciate the food.
Why aren't we going for Italy for our tour, man? Fuck.
Because no Italians watch us.
No Italians watch us. God damn it.
Mamma mia.
Come on, guys.
This episode is sponsored by Vessi's.
If you've ever seen us wear shoes in public, 100% chance it is a Vessi's. It's all we wear.
I do not leave my house without my Vessis. I do not see my wife without my Vessis. I do not see anyone without my Vessis, all right? I don't even get married without my Vessis. True story.
I love the Vessi's so much, I wore them to my friend's wedding. Also true story.
I wish we actually do just wear these everywhere. They're so good.
Yeah.
I've worn these in every single climate you can imagine, and these motherfuckers held up.
Rain, sleet, snow, or shine, Vessi's will come through with the clutch.
I never have to be scared of British rain again because my feet are always dry.
Not only that, absolute maximum comfort. Honestly, some of the comfiest shoes that we've ever worn.
And look how stylish they are.
Woo!
Look at these. Look at that, man.
Let them cook.
And these bad boys are waterproof. They're super easy to clean as well, and they stretch all the way around to fit your foot. It's so comfortable.
So what are you waiting for? Take advantage of Vessi's Memorial Day sale and save up to 30% on a variety of Vessi styles available at vessi.com/trashtaste. In case you missed the sale, you can still enjoy a 15% discount on your order by using code TRASHTASTE at checkout. Don't wait too long to grab your favorite pair of Vessis. Join the Vessi Club. Link is in the description.
Thank you very much to Vessi for sponsoring us today. Back to the video. To completely switch gears from Italy, I watched something interesting recently.
Go
on. It wasn't just the Mario movie. I saw a Thai hentai.
Oh, God.
What? Yes. Okay.
I think I know which one it is.
Okay.
Because I watched it too.
What? Where was my invite?
I didn't know you watched it either.
Well, it's the one I'm thinking. I mean, it's got to be, right? Like, it's the
How many are there?
Okay.
This is why, yeah.
Okay, to preface, all right.
like
I feel like maybe there's something in my blood for me to be a fucking degenerate because I've been to anime conventions in Singapore and stuff like that before, and you go to the artist alley, and I remember going to AFA or something, and other conventions before that, and going to the artist alley, and every cultured artist, like I would hear them talk, and everyone was Thai. And I was like, my people, my people drawing all these cultured fan arts, right?
Yeah.
So I had an inkling that there were a lot of talented, cultured artists and animators in Thailand, and this all came to light when I was just browsing the internet, and I saw what I thought was just a normal hentai.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I clicked the episode. So the hentai is called My Mother. All right.
I can see what you watched.
Hey, listen, I was just.
It's like perfectly is SEO generated to fit Connor's needs.
Yeah. It was called My Mother, and like number 2, I noticed it was weird because it was a hentai I'd never seen before. It was just released, and everything was like uncensored, and I was like, what? There's uncensored hentai now?
Okay.
What the fuck is going on? So I clicked the episode, and I'm like, this isn't Japanese. Wait, hold on a second.
I know what they're saying.
I know what this. I recognize this language. This is my mother's tongue. and honestly, like genuinely, the animation was actually like pretty damn good.
It was very good. Very good animation.
Yeah. It was like the character designs were so like actually damn good. The animation was great, but oh my god, I could not. My dick has never been more flaccid in my life. Holy shit! I never have heard Thai voice acting in the context of like hentai.
It's bad. It's pretty bad.
It was. I couldn't. It's okay. So the plot. Okay, with a plot like
fucking awful as well.
yeah. With a plot like My Mother, right? It's about a guy and his mum.
Okay.
And hearing a guy talk to his mum and his mum talk to him with the same phrases that I've heard like in my household as well was just like this is I was like oh my god
yeah and
oh
they're blood related as well, which I was kind of like not on board with.
That's
kind of weird now.
Now you understand why I'm not into MILF hentai. Because it's the exact same thing.
It's like
I'm just like I don't want to think about my household.
I don't need it to be like their fucking mom. I just need it to be a hot lady who's older. Like I don't need I don't even have kids. Like
there's a difference.
Like I don't need them to be the mom. So they were like, oh, no, this is the mom. I'm like, no. It's weird.
Yeah.
And it's in Thai, which, not to be rude to Thai, but it does not sound hot.
No, it does not. I will agree with you with that. I think one of the big things as well is that the voice acting sounds exactly the same as every Thai soap opera I've ever seen in my life. But then you bring that to the context of a guy and his mother having sex, and I'm just like, okay, actually, incest bad. Oh my god, this is.
I get it now.
I get it now. I cannot turn off this part of my brain. This is horrible.
Now you see how people don't like it. Garnt discovers
incest is maybe bad.
Yeah, but I'm like, when you hear Japanese, do you have like a separation between like, okay, this is anime versus this is stuff I used to hear in my household? Because like I would hear like certain phrases in this thing, and I was just like hearing the mom say, hey son, come over here, hey son, and I'm just like, oh, don't say it like that. don't come on man, come on.
I mean, kinda, but like, I think at this point I've watched enough anime and hentai in my life where I'm like, this is clearly completely two separate things. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, none of them sound like anyone I know. So it's like, that definitely helps.
Okay.
If it was someone I knew voicing it, then I'd be like, no, thank you. Turn that shit off.
So, Thai people, you are so close. Yeah, please.
Hold on, I gotta check this out.
Please hire a dubbing company. I beg of you. I beg of you. I don't want to understand that shit. It's just called My Mother.
I don't know how I found it. I think it was just on a hentai website in general, and it just popped up, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I think
I have seen this image.
Yeah, because I'm like, there's no way.
I haven't watched it, but
I was like,
this is Thai.
That's Thai, yeah.
It looks good though.
Actually looks good, doesn't it?
Why couldn't it just be her with someone else? Like that would have been preferable. Yeah, because I was like, there's no way a hentai about MILF's released, and I didn't know about it already. I was like, what?
I have the entire release schedule. I know everything that's coming out.
Yeah,
actually.
I do. I go like with the website I normally watch hentai on. It just tells you when shit's coming out, and I was like, I'm normally like in my head, I'm like, I don't fucking like put it in my calendar, being like, this is out. Prepared to get a wank ready.
I forgot to put in fucking.
But I just make a mental note. Because sometimes you find out a hentai is being released and you're like, oh shit, I like the first one. That was high.
Yeah. That was high.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember how I discovered it. I think it was actually Twitter. actually.
Really? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know if it's just a me thing, a my timeline thing.
What's going on with Thailand right now? I saw that fucking JoJo thing you retweeted as well.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I thought that was fake. I saw it earlier before you retweeted. I was like, oh, that's sick fan
I saw
art.
that too.
Yeah.
And then you retweeted. It's like, this is legit. And I'm like, cap. That's cap.
I mean, I could see Thailand doing it. Kind of get like Thailand, kind of just like as you saw when you guys went to Thailand with the fucking huge Captain America, huge Mario statue.
Yeah.
We just like taking like random culture and just like inserting it whenever we can, even if it makes no sense, and being like, look,
For the Mario movie.
yeah, like the Mario movie itself, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's so I could definitely see a politician just basically using JoJo kind of like art to
I mean, he's got my vote. That's for sure.
I mean it was
Are you approaching me? It's just the polls.
It's just me walking to the ballot.
I mean I would say I would love for politics to do more of this stuff outside of Thailand. That would probably make people more interested in it.
Well, Japan, like sometimes they cosplay, right? The people who are going for.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, well, one of the weirdest things is watching a manga artist I fucking grew up with running for office.
Come up, Can.
Yeah.
He's in now, bro.
Is he in? Did he win?
He's in.
Oh my fucking god!
He's fucking in.
The grandfather of panty shorts is in office right now. You no fucking way.
damn.
The creator of Love Hina is a
He
politician.
truly
now.
does hold all the power.
Yeah. And he's like, first thing I'm going to do when I go to office, power to otakus. And everyone's
Yeah.
like, yeah, boy. That's why he's the GOAT.
Yeah, I remember like seeing my Twitter where he just had like when he was running, he had like an office or something in Akihabara, and I'm just like, this is so surreal right now. This is my like I read this man's manga. He was the harem god, and now he's just running for office. Like, where are we gonna go next? You know, but I suppose that's not the weirdest thing that's happened in the world now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's not weird at all.
Yeah.
Someone being a little quirky is not. That's not weird.
It was bound to happen in Japan eventually.
Yeah,
For sure.
I
Yeah.
feel like stuff that we say is weird, like was weird like 10 years ago, is like totally sane now. Which is like Twitter really changed the bar for what weird is, and oh my god, Twitter lately as well. I'm just like, oh my god, this is worse than Pornhub and Liveleak on one website. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's I have no idea what the fuck is going on with Twitter right
it's
now.
weird. I'm a fan.
I just like it's so weird going on my feed and I forget to change it for the For You because I hate that it defaults to like the recommended feed because that is just a fucking cesspool.
It's like have you noticed that YouTube, when you open the app, it just loads a short?
No.
Yeah, dude, let me show you.
What?
Sometimes you open YouTube, it just plays a short.
Is it because it might be because the last thing you're watching was a short, right?
So this time it didn't do it, but like, let's say I was just watching something. I've noticed that sometimes if I just close it and then I come back to it later on, it'll just fucking start playing a short, even though I wasn't watching a short.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe you just
Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm
maybe
pretty
you're crazy.
But
Yeah.
like, sometimes it's like it's completely reloading the app. Like I see it opening it again, like from scratch, and it just loads a short. I'm like, what the fuck? Fuck you.
How much shorts have you been watching?
Oh, you go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. Have you noticed the amount of like on Twitter, the amount of like every time you open it, there's just one person just being dunked on with 100,000 retweet or quote retweets or something. Yeah, I thought it was cute originally, and then I'm like, oh, this is like every single day, twice a day.
It feels like I don't know if this is the correct word, like not like bullying culture, but like that kind of dunking on people is coming back in again.
Yeah.
It goes in and out online. I feel like it's slowly coming back in again. Being a hater is cool.
I mean, being a hater has always been cool. You like even before the internet. I just feel like maybe Twitter has made it so that it's come right back to the front line again, and I feel like here's I don't know if Twitter still does this, but it definitely did it when it updated for like, you know, changing from just the follower feed to the For You page. So this is like the smallest like asshole designs I've like come across, right? So I want my Twitter feed to be on my follower feed because the For You page is just fucking awful. But when I'd log on when this first had the update, huh?
Always puts it on For You.
No. So originally defaulted to the follower, but I would get notifications. I would get a little red dot saying you have new notifications on your homepage, but I couldn't get rid of that notification by going to the For You page and refreshing and going to the top of the page. So it basically forced me with my little fucking, with just a little red dot.
You care about those little red dots? Oh, no.
Wait, you don't? You can go about your life without getting rid of every little notification.
Mine
are bad.
What do you mean? Look at all the dots I have. I have so many.
Oh no!
No.
Yeah, I've got on iPhone is different, but I have 6,083 unread emails.
No, guys.
338 on Discord.
I get pissed off about the things that it thinks I like are urgent. Like, why does my Fitbit send me notifications just telling me I'm fat? I just tells you like, keeps fucking spamming shit like, wow, you've ran 2 days this week. It's like, fuck off. Like BBC, right? I have the BBC app. And I'm like, that's great. That's hype. I like checking out news.
Yeah.
What it defines as urgent and sending me a fucking notification for pisses me off.
Yeah.
It'll be like dog of the year. Actually, no, that's a good one.
That is urgent.
It's like I don't know. It's something so dumb. It'll be like, I don't know, man eats 15 burgers in hot dog eating contest, new record.
Hey, I want to check that out.
And it's just like, what? Like, I don't know.
You can't just turn that shit off?
I think you can somehow, but it's like, why do you default do this? Like, I hate this.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot get on with my day unless like every little notification is gone. Otherwise,
dude, I mean,
there is just something there, and it's a really
I
bad.
just have like this much always.
Oh my god,
like this much.
Oh yeah. No,
it's a really bad habit as well because so one of the I was actually late to the recording today because we were meant to meet up at like 10 a.m. and I came at like 11 p.m. So one of the reasons that happens sometimes is because of my, let's say, OCD, where I need to get rid of every notification. Sometimes I just if I get a message, sometimes I don't even read the message. Sometimes I just open it so I can get rid of
the
worst.
You are the
so
worst.
I can get rid of the notification.
You are actually the worst.
And then I'm just like, okay, I'm going to sleep. So you sent the message at like 9 p.m. or something.
Yeah.
And I was like tired after streaming because I finished at like midnight. So I was going straight to bed. I was like, I saw online, I had notifications. I think I remembered like just tapping the notification. And then I'm like, all right, time to bed. And then I woke up and
What is wrong with you?
Motherfucker. This is why I have to like quadruple text this kid.
This explains so much about why you're so ass at replying to anything. Or getting a hold of you.
There's been so many moments where I've like privately messaged Garnt about something, being like, hey, I need information on this. And it says fucking red. And I'm like, so you're going to answer it or?
I think people will get the assumption that like Garnt is the most, like, what's the word? Punctual or good at replying. He's the worst out of all of us.
No, he's absolutely the worst.
Because I have all those notifications, but those are the ones that I deem as like, in my head, I'm like, I don't need to answer these right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, because if I get a text, I'll check my watch that vibrates and like pops up, and I'm like, that's not important. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But if it's important, I'm like, okay, I got to reply to this.
All right.
So then I'll reply at the end of the day or in a week.
Oh, I just reply to everything on the spot. I'm just like,
I can't do that.
Because then like, what if it's not urgent and like, because this sounds like such an ass thing. It's like, what if sometimes like, the more you reply, the more replies you get, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, I don't want more replies because I want to do the thing that I was doing.
Yeah.
And so if I reply, they'll reply right away, and then I got to reply again. I'm stuck in this cycle of endlessly trying to like reply nonstop.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just blessed because the people who like I reply immediately back to are the people like Garnt who don't get back to me for half a day. So I'm like, all right, good. My side of the job is done.
True.
I'll just wait till he comes back to me 12 hours later, and I can just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. For me, it's like half of that. Half I check it. I'm like, okay, let me just reply after I finish typing the sentence. Then I finish typing the sentence, and then I just like, okay, I've completely forgotten what I needed to do. So I just like, and there's no notification there. So I'm just fucked. Because here's the thing. If I need,
if I don't see it, it doesn't exist.
I need to reply right away. or I'm going to forget, and I know that. So I wish there was a function to be like, okay, you've read it, but can you keep the notification there? I don't know if there is a function like that.
Do this,
Yeah, emails do that.
Which I love.
That's why I can manage my emails, because emails, I'm like, okay, I open the email, but I can still have a notification that says has not read.
Some apps let you snooze, like Line lets you snooze the notification.
Oh, okay.
So you could be like, ping me again about this in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. That's what I need in my life to
Just
go.
do it. I think you just hold down the notification.
Okay.
One thing that I don't know if you guys have ever done this. You've ever mentally replied, but you didn't actually reply.
I do that all the time.
Where like in your head, you read the message and then you compose the response in your head and then you think you've sent it, but then you just haven't.
Oh no!
Have you done this?
This is like next level intrusive thoughts. Like,
No. Have you ever done this? Like when you've thought of the response and then you're like, but then you got distracted by something.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh fuck, I forgot to send that reply.
never happened.
And the worst thing is sometimes, okay, I go like a step further. Sometimes I literally type the reply out and then I forget to send it.
No, I don't do that. No, I don't do that.
I get
That's
a
fucked.
message. I get a message like 2 hours later. It's like, so you can reply, and I always sound like I'm lying when I say, sorry, I literally thought I replied to you, because you always sound like you're just like.
You do sound like BS. Whenever
You always sound like BS, but it's genuinely true. I do it all the fucking time. I type out the response. I'm just like, maybe I need to like edit this. I don't know if this is the exact response I want. I look away and I just forget to press send. And then
If it was on Discord, it would just be Giga is typing for like 3 hours.
Yeah. To me, it's like the mental equivalent of looking for your phone when your phone's in your hand. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing.
In your pocket or something.
You got your phone in your hand. It's like, where the fuck? Where's my phone? I've got to leave now. I've got to leave.
I remember I stopped a swimming race one time. It was about to start. And I was like, wait, come find my goggles. And they were just on my head.
Yeah,
I've done that so many times. So I'm like, where
sunglasses as well as a classic.
Sunglasses?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm wearing them. I'm a
Velma effect.
Probably why I'm into gacha games so much, because every day it's just a notification fest. And I like, let me do my dailies and get rid of all these red dots, man. Let's clear it out.
When I played Honkai, I was like, how many fucking mechanics are you going to introduce to me? Stop.
Yeah.
Every 5 seconds is like, all right, now we have this mechanic. I'm like, what is this? Stop.
Never
and
ending.
I feel like it's made people like you.
Yeah.
They want to log in every day and feel like they're doing a lot of things, but actually you're just doing nothing.
Yeah, I remember when I first started playing Genshin for the first time, like when I go back into it, the first hour of that gameplay was just me clearing notifications, and then I was just like, okay, shit, now I actually have to play the game. But that was actually pretty fun, actually. I felt a lot of that was neurons activating.
It's like cleaning your room.
It is, right?
Like, it's all done.
Yeah, except it takes a lot less effort, so I enjoy it way more, because cleaning my room actually takes effort.
Yeah, you're
and
doing
time.
that while you're sitting in your dirty ass room.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. It's my brain's just wired weird.
Yeah, you can only play gacha games.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing though.
Built diff.
Have you checked your screen time? Like how much time do you spend on your phone?
How do I check?
So you go to your settings, right? So you go to your settings and you go to
Screen time. Here we go.
Yeah, digital well-being and parental controls.
Fuck no! Why is it called that? I hate that it's called that. Because that makes me sound like I'm sick.
So this week I've had a daily average of 7 hours 47 minutes.
Fuck. 7 hours.
It's down to 8% from last week.
You can tell me how many times I've opened my phone.
Yeah.
160 on Tuesday. What went wrong?
Holy shit.
Wait, what?
What?
On Monday I did 33.
All right, hold on. Let's see.
Okay, so my digital well-being is actually pretty damn good, because I saw some YouTube videos about this where people had like 15 hours, 20 hours screen time, and I don't know how that's even possible. That means every waking moment they are looking at looking at their phone.
Oh,
Right,
it showed me how many times I picked up my phone. Daily average 91.
Mine's actually like 90% YouTube.
Yeah, so actually, like mine compared to a lot of people, I asked Sydney hers, and she was like 8 hours, 9 hours.
What?
And I'm like 4 hours, or 3 hours 40. That was a bad day. 8 hours. But yeah, normally I'm in around between like between 3 hours and on bad days 8 hours, but it never goes beyond 8 hours.
Yeah.
So I actually try to minimize my screen time as much as possible.
I'm not that bad.
I don't know, man. I just saw one that said 10 hours.
Yeah, that was like
10 hours, 4 minutes.
yeah, that's because I was on a plane.
All right.
Okay,
I just watched YouTube, but like apparently I spent 33 minutes on Uber Eats yesterday, which how does that even like? I think what must have happened is because like I have a mobile a wireless phone charger, and a lot of the times I just like when I order Uber Eats, I just leave it open so I can see where the when it's closed.
Okay.
But like I also I go in and out of phases where I need like audio playing when I sleep.
Yeah, but I just turn off my screen for that. That doesn't count towards your screen time.
Oh, it doesn't?
No.
I turn off my screen.
Yeah.
Well.
I turn off my screen for that too, so maybe I'm coping. But
Yeah.
but like yesterday, this makes no sense because yesterday I was streaming literally from like dusk till dawn.
Right.
And apparently I was still on my phone for 6 hours. How does that make any sense? I was literally streaming the entire day. How am I on my phone for 6 hours?
What were you on?
YouTube mainly.
Why were you on YouTube while you were streaming?
I don't know.
Did you have your phone, your YouTube on while you were streaming?
Maybe. Actually, when I take a bath, I always watch YouTube when I take a bath.
Okay.
All right.
Normally when I'm I don't know if I wake up or if I'm getting ready, I just always like look at I don't know. I'm fucking addicted.
We're addicted to our phones.
We are addicted to our phones.
What percentile am I in? Am I like a diamond rank screen time user or like?
I actually don't think you're that high.
No.
Because
well, screen time for this device.
Yeah.
For the other
okay.
device, I'm
Okay.
definitely in
Yeah.
the top 0.1%.
I don't count the computer.
Wait, what?
Wait. Okay. Because it's work, right? Because it's work. You know, would an office worker count the screen time for them on like Excel? No,
I'm always in front of a screen. It's
Yeah.
either my PC, I'm either at the gym and I'm running in front of that fucking screen. Yeah. I'm either taking a bath.
Yeah.
I'm pooping. I'm always in front of a screen.
But the thing is, if you're on your phone, you're definitely not working. This is like the screen time I spend on my phone is the time when I could be
I'm
doing.
sometimes working.
I'm sometimes working.
Yo.
I work sometimes.
Tell me, Joey, what work are you doing on your phone?
I'm doing like my clothing stuff.
Sell my stocks.
I have,
Okay.
Yeah.
Dump it.
Stocks as well. I
Dump
look
all.
at my stock stuff on my phone.
Sell all my NFTs.
You got 8 hours of screen time for stocks?
Hell yeah. I'm watching every increment go up and down. I'm like, sell now. Right now. Sell right now.
I mean, that's depressing that I opened
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I don't want to look at that.
Yeah, it
7
is
hours,
depressing. But I mean, I think it used to be a lot more. I think I'm glad because I've got my I guess social media screen time down. I'm not scrolling so much on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, I wish the information's nice, but I wish there was like, how can I look at like how long what are the trends that I've spent on certain apps? Like, have I spent more this month?
Yeah.
On like Twitter or have I spent like, why is that? Let's have a look. I know a lot of people have those extensions on Chrome that can like block you from going on a website from certain time periods. It's like when they're working, they're like, I'll block Twitter because I can't trust myself to not go on Twitter while I'm working.
Yeah.
Which I've always considered that, but I'm like, dude, just get good. Just control it. Just like,
Mine never matter.
like, I feel like I don't know. In my head, I'm like, I want to be, I don't know. Is it weird that I'm like, I want to be the one who stops myself?
Yeah, no.
Not.
Yeah, you want to be in control.
I want to. Yeah, I want to be telling. Like, I want to. If the only way I can get control is that I have to like physically block myself, I feel like there's an issue.
Yeah. Okay, so I actually saw this this is like a fucking TikTok or fucking YouTube Shorts kind of like device, like, oh, devices you need in your life, and it was literally a lock for your phone.
Oh yeah,
right. Have you seen that? It was like a safe for
My
your
friend
phone.
has one of those.
Where you put your phone in the safe and you lock it and you can't open it. Like you set the timer and you cannot open that lock until the timer runs out. And I feel like if I did that, I would obsess more about how I could get this phone fucking open, this lock open, than I would actually trying to like not look at my phone.
Yeah.
You know, that would be a bigger distraction than actually having my phone there in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that for some people they need to block things. You know, like if you're addicted to like gambling or something, you have to like you can submit the paper saying don't let me in. Which I understand stuff like that. And but for like me personally, for me like self-control, it's very important for me to feel like I am limiting myself and there's not some external factor that's limiting me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't really feel like I I've solved the issue if I do have
Yeah.
an addiction to whatever it is. And I'd get so fucking pissed off if my phone wasn't locked in a safe.
I would.
Because I'd be like, I actually have to reply to something.
Yeah.
Why? This is stupid.
Yeah, I would find a way to like go around that. I'd be like, okay, now I need to log into all my messaging apps on my computers now. All right, and it would just like, I don't know, that to me would feel bad for me because it would feel like I'm not in control. So I would be pissed off, and I'd be pissed off at myself for the fact that I would need a device like that. But you know, I understand everyone's mind is different.
Everyone has a different, right?
Everyone has a different way. For me, I just like feeling like I am in control, even if sometimes I'm definitely not in fucking control.
Everyone's got an addiction to something. Everyone's got that something that they're like, damn, I maybe do this more than I should, or I eat too much food, or whatever it is. Everyone has that vice or something they're addicted to, and it's up to you to keep control of that.
Yeah, well, it's
Garnt has GACHA.
Hey, now, boys, now. I am a gamer, okay? I like the gaming side. I like the gaming side of it, guys.
Cool.
I'm in it for the anime characters, all right? Yeah.
I played an RPG the other day.
Mm-hmm. Which one?
I was hoping for more
that
fanfare
wasn't
for
Honkai?
that. Yeah, I was hoping for more fanfare on that one. I was
right.
hoping for claps and applauses, right?
Okay.
Oh, let me hear what you've played.
Yeah,
first.
let me hear what you played.
Well, I watched John's video, Super Eye Patch Wolf, on. It was called like the cruelest video game, whatever.
Oh yes.
Oh
yes.
yeah, I saw that one. Yeah,
I watched like 1 minute of it, and I was like, pause. I want to play this. I want to watch the video because I want to play this game.
Yeah.
It's called Fear and Hunger, and it's this fucking horrible, grotesque game with disgusting things happening in it. And yeah, it was definitely one of the cruelest video games I've ever played.
Did you beat it?
What makes it so cruel? I haven't had time to watch John's video yet. Sell it to me.
Okay, so it's a dungeon crawler mixed RPG mixed with resource management, and you're dropped into this world in like a medieval setting. It's extremely heavily inspired by Berserk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the plot is that you get to pick one of 4 classes, and your job, and each character has a different motivation for why they want to find. He's called Legard, but in this, for all intents and purposes, he's Griffith.
Yeah.
Griffith has gone into this dungeon to seek more power, and it's your job to go and find him. Like, one of the characters' job is to, like, he wants revenge. One of the characters to save him. One of the characters is just because maybe he's like a vessel or something. And your job is to go into this dungeon and save him before he dies, because there's a time limit and when he's gonna get killed. The thing is that this world that you've entered is not your world. It's not like it's like a different place in this world. Think like Dark Continent, Hunter, kind of
Right, right.
Again, the game is very heavily inspired by anime.
Isekai?
No, not Isekai. It's very
Silence, child.
There's so many anime references in this game,
Right.
and again, it's just one big omen to like Berserk as a plot. And so you enter this world, and it's just really like unsettling. Like, there's no music right away. And
Right.
it's, there's like really weird, like, in the shuffling sound in RPG Maker, it's just kind of weirdly unsettling. Like, think of like Ib and Mad Father.
Yeah.
They're kind of like scrolling around these world, and then you immediately get into this game, and then you're walking, and everything's kind of like there's blood everywhere, there's bodies hanging. There's also dicks everywhere. Everything is a dick.
Right.
It's pretty grotesque. And you go into this world, and then you get attacked by 2 wolves right away. And you try to fight these wolves. Odds are you'll die.
Right.
Thing is, though, is that enemies can attack with their limbs. And so
Wait, enemies can attack with
So
their limbs?
normally in RPG enemies, right? If there
Yeah.
are 2 wolves, then that's 2 turns by the enemy, right?
Yeah.
One wolf 1 and wolf 2.
Right.
In Fear and Hunger, wolf 1 has 4 attacks.
No. It would have, so certain enemies have certain ones. So
Yeah.
the legs are normally for movement, and the
Right.
2 arms means but for wolves specifically, they bite. But other enemies, if they have 2 hands, they have 2 hits.
Oh shit. Okay.
And there's a dismemberment system where you have to dismember the enemy to then be able to land a headshot to kill them. But there's that balance between, you can go for a headshot right away, but the chance of hitting it are very low. But if you cut their legs off, they lose balance, and it's easy to land a headshot. But if the enemy has arms, they can still hit you. And so you can either get rid of their arms first, and then they can tackle you, which is a very weak attack,
Right.
and then go for the legs, then go for the head. And it's like this kind of like balancing act where you kind of gotta decide what's the best way to go for. And these enemies do a lot of damage. and let's say an enemy has like a meat cleaver, well, because the walls will kill you right away, and so you load the game up again, and you manage to get into the castle right away. An ogre will approach you right away, and will hunt you down, and he catches you right away, and his dick is just out on the floor. It's gross. But what you'll learn right away is that this ogre, when he hits you with this hacksaw, he just dismembers you, and you've permanently lost that arm for the rest of the run.
Okay.
And if he hits your leg, you lose the leg. And if you lose both legs, you have to crawl for the rest of the game. So it's horrible. And so let's say you're fighting this ogre, right? And you manage to cut his arm off. He then, at one point during this fight, and this introduces you to this mechanic, he walks up to you, and it's really like creepy. He goes, a prompt will appear, heads or tails.
Right.
So then you flip the coin, and if you call it correctly, you dodge the attack. If you call it incorrectly, you just basically die. And in the starting one, you kind of get dismembered, and then you get dropped in a dungeon filled with blood, and you have no legs, and you're crawling around, and it's fucked. And so you basically have to restart the run because you can't do the game with no legs.
Also, it's permadeath as well. So if you die, then you have to go back to the beginning of the game.
No, there are saves. But here's the fucked up thing about the saves is that the saves are coin tosses. And if you fail the coin toss, a really OP enemy will spawn to greet you, and your save doesn't count. And you have to fight the enemy, and that enemy can one-shot. And if your party member dies, they're dead. You can't revive them. And you can collect party members, but they also can get infected and they get dismembered. And again, it's a resource management. So you're hungry, right? And you have like MP, and MP is hard to refill. It's called mind, and they go insane if you don't have enough of it. Hunger, there's not enough resources in the game as well, so you have to manage. If you want a full party, which is great because you're more powerful, but you need more food. And so that's problematic.
Also, there is absolutely no merit to fighting enemies because you don't get experience.
Yeah, they don't drop items, so you don't need to fight enemies. But certain times you can't run away.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just quicker to try and kill them. And all of the items in the world are randomly placed. So it's just like a pool. So in some runs, you could just not get anything OP. In other runs, you might get super OP items right away. Or in my run, the item to refill your mana is alcohol and opium. It's called mind. Right. So it's your sanity.
Right.
So the only way to refill your sanity is to drink alcohol or smoke opium.
Get high or get drunk.
And I kept getting opium, but I needed a pipe to smoke it. I didn't get it right until the end. So I was like struggling the entire game.
Just carrying around bags of opium. It's like, what do I do with this?
So like you get like kids and stuff, and you have to make the kids smoke the crack or the opium to like help them.
This sounds like a fever dream I'm hearing right now.
It's like a JRPG on crack.
And then it's really like, in the start, it's more like they're like more humanoids, and the deeper you go into this dungeon and find more about the world, they all start to get a little more like really surreal and like creepy and very kind of like
some of the enemies just are absolute fucking nightmare.
Yeah, like more nightmare fuel.
Like genuinely terrifying.
Bosses are very difficult. It's very unforgiving, and there's like 15 endings. All you can do a bunch of different things. I got 2 endings. Both were kind of meh. It's really hard to get the true ending.
Yeah. Maybe it's because I'm not a gamer, but this doesn't sound fun.
Hold on. Okay, so rewind to about 15 minutes ago when you were like, I'm a gamer.
So like it's actually an amazing game.
Okay.
And the story is really fascinating because it's about like, so you're trying to save this guy, but it's about like how there's like, one of the characters is like, his village was attacked by like the main characters like country and army, and there's different gods involved, and there's a whole lot of stuff going on, and you pick up books throughout. By the way, the only way to get lore a lot of the time is from a coin flip. So sometimes you go to a bookshelf, and to get more lore, you have to win the coin flip, and if you don't, you just don't get the lore. But again, like the entire game, and like a lot of reviews say this, like the difficulty does not come from like any kind of gameplay. It's all like the difficulty comes from just knowing what to do, because like as well in the game, right? You have a coin flip, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, great, this is awesome. 50-50 chance for everything.
That is not awesome.
That
is the opposite of awesome.
But what the game doesn't tell you at any point, unless you click on the item, which you would never do, is that you can pick up stuff called lucky coins, and they're very rare. But when you do get them, You hold shift down. The game doesn't tell you any of this. You hold shift, and then you flip 2 coins. And then now only one of them needs to land on it.
So you've doubled your chances.
So you've made it from 50% to 75% chance. So now suddenly saving becomes at least a little bit safer.
75%. I don't know.
You're a gacha gamer. 10% is good for you.
I don't know about those odds.
So yeah, like, and then like, you know, you're also like walking around and there's like prompts at the bottom of the screen sometimes that just tell you information like, oh, your party member's hungry. Is going low. And then sometimes there's like a prompt and you have no idea what this prompt means. And initially it goes, a terrifying presence has entered the room. And you're like, what? What does that mean? And throughout the game, there's just this like, think of like Pyramid Head in like Silent Hill, just following you. And he's OP as fuck. And he's just hunting you down. So there's also this added pressure of that already along with resource management and just trying to survive.
It just, after watching John's video, I was like, I think I would love this game, but it just sounds way too fucking stressful for me right now.
It's stressful, but I think it's a good kind of stress where you feel very rewarded the moment you find stuff out.
Right.
Like in this world as well, like there's this item that I wasted because I didn't know what it was because it's not explained to you. Nothing is explained to you in this game.
Yeah.
If I didn't have Twitch chat, I think I just would not have played this game because it's just like, I don't understand how you would learn anything without looking up a guide.
Yeah.
You can't play this game without a guide, I'm pretty sure. I just don't know how you
or not without like a ton of trial and error.
Yeah, you'd have to do like, but even like for this example, right? How would you learn this? Unless maybe it's hidden in one of the books that you have to coin flip for. You get a thing called an empty scroll, and I opened it up and I couldn't close it. I didn't know what it was, and you just type stuff in. And I was like, oh, well, I can't do anything. And you have to put 3 verses in. I was like, what the fuck? So I wasted it. And then right at the end, I picked up another one, and someone in my chat told me, oh, by the way, you can just ask God for anything. I was like, what? I was like, yeah, you just ask for anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, how?
Wait, what's God?
So in the game, the theme of God plays a very like becoming God or the existing gods play a very, very heavy role in this, and you start to learn more about the gods.
Okay.
And so you can just ask the god for something, but you have to type in like a very specific set of words initially before you can ask for what you want. And I'm just thinking, who the fuck would find this out? But then, you know, I did it, and I someone in chat told me ask for this thing, and I asked for it. And by the way, there's healing items in the game, and your characters have 100 HP, and you only get healing items every now and then, and they only heal for like 10. So you can barely ever heal your party to full.
Yeah.
Gate found me this thing where you can just heal your whole party for 30 health or 40 health with a spell that costs MP, and you can regenerate MP pretty easily. So I was like, what the fuck? This makes the game so much easier. And if I didn't get this stupid fucking spell, I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
So it's like it's very punishing, but also it's really cool kind of trial and error experimenting. I'd say like the best way to play the game is to just grind a little bit, just die a bunch, figure stuff out. It's very satisfying. And then when you get kind of later on, just fucking look at a guide because it's so fun.
I don't know. That from the way you describe the game, that's like a level beyond, okay, this is a hard game, and if you like...
It's not hard. It's easy, but you just need to know what to do.
That's the thing, Connor. Like, how can you...
Brain surgery isn't hard.
Yeah.
It's easy if you know what to do.
It's like if I gave you a Rubik's Cube, right, and you were able to put it in online and then have the algorithm walk you through every movement.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't describe that as hard, right? Like following that algorithm.
Yeah.
Whereas giving someone a Rubik's Cube for the first time and being like, solve it. That's hard, right? Like, so it's the same challenge, but when you're presented with more information, the challenge becomes exponentially easier. So it's not a difficulty that derives from any skill or anything like that. It's not.
It just sounds like you have to be a madman to play through the game enough to get the information you need.
Oh yeah,
and the amount of trial and error you go through, right?
Oh fuck yeah! I mean, like I went through most of the game without looking at anything, and I was able to get decently through the game, and it was pretty much just when I wanted to start actually getting the endings where I had to actually look what to do, because the endings are very odd to get. Like I just went through killing everything that I could until I got to an ending, and it was just a weird ending. Yeah, it was very strange.
From what it sounds like, this sounds like a streamer game. You know,
no, you can't stream it there. Like that's the thing, is that like you could only stream it recently because someone had made a censored mod,
right?
Because there's gore, there's sexual assault in it, really fucked up things.
Right.
Yeah, John's video is censored to shit.
Yeah,
okay.
It's hard to recommend, but it's like, it captures that that really uncomfortable horror vibe that I haven't had from a game in a very long time that I really enjoyed. And so that's why I'd recommend everyone play it, because it's not everyone. Sorry, fuck, no, do not play it.
Everyone play it.
Kids,
if you,
I found the new game
if you
for
like
you.
really fucked up games that challenge you and really make you feel anxiety and scared, then yeah, it's great. I fully recommend.
Apparently, there's a second one as well, which is even harder
it's
than the
even
first
harder.
one.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Well, yeah, I mean, from what I haven't played it obviously, but from what I understand from the plot, it's maybe you'd like it. It's very anime-esque. It takes a lot from Majora's Mask, because there's a moon,
Right.
it's evil, and there's 3 days, and the premise of the second game is that it's a more open world, and you have to be there's like 20 or 10 other people who come on this train journey that crashes, and then you have to kill everyone else and be the last person alive.
Right.
Damn.
But you don't have to kill people and stuff, but it sounds interesting, and it's set during, I think, World War II.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be a game for me, just because I have patience, but that just sounds like a bad time.
I liked it because I loved Berserk a lot, and it was
you love
like,
Jump King as well.
it's like
You love
it
doing
was sick.
repetitive
'cause
shit.
It kind of captured that kind of really uncomfortableness that Berserk gave me. I mean, because it's basically like a Berserk. Like there's direct comparisons to like, I mean, you can fucking get Guts' armor in the game. Like you can go. There's a place where you can get this armor that penetrates your body.
Yeah.
Like spikes and stuff. But like, yeah, it's cool because it's kind of like, what if somebody who was very heavily inspired by Berserk kind of did a very fucked up, I mean, Berserk's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Like a different take on it for a video game where you can really delve into it and kind of have branching paths. It was really interesting. I really enjoyed it. Thought it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, I still need to play the new Zelda that comes out before I get into any other games.
That's what I've been doing.
I'm
for
not
the past
touching that
4
for a little
days.
while.
You're not touching that?
I think I'm gonna chill out for a little bit. I'm good.
It's so good though.
I know
so
it's good. I just
Is it as good as people are making it out to be? Is it better than Breath of the Wild?
It's like, I don't know. It's obviously a direct sequel. Like it literally takes place right after the events of the first game.
Yeah.
But kind of also is like the lore behind it is also like kind of prequel-y as well. So like it's the events that are happening in real time are after the first game, but the story is more so about before the first game.
Is the story better?
I think the story's a lot better.
Okay,
Yeah, for sure. I think the story in the second game is a lot better because you actually like get to find out more about like Zelda and the kind of state of Hyrule at the time. And like Ganon in this game is just he's such a Chad. He's so hot. I'm just saying it right now.
What?
I'm saying it right now. This like because this is full on voice acting now, and
hell yeah.
and Ganon and like all these characters are like just full on talking.
Oh, fuck
and the Japanese
does,
voice.
Does Link talk?
No, Link still just goes as he usually does. But like, when you go to like certain areas in the game where you can pinpoint pieces of Zelda's past, there's just full voice acted cutscenes,
nice.
and Ganon's Japanese voice is fucking hot. I'm just gonna say it outright. It's fucking badass.
Does he sound like Jotaro? I imagine he sounds like Jotaro.
He's like a cross between Jotaro and Dio. Yeah.
Wow.
It's fucking badass. Yeah, but like the power-ups are completely different now that you get. Like, so in like Breath of the Wild, it's like a lot of it had to do with like using bombs and stuff like that, right? And the Sheikah Slate stuff. This time it's way more like, I guess, craft based.
Yeah, it's like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
It's like Minecraft, basically.
Yeah, I saw like the vehicle building system that they had, and that looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, using that in like all the temples to like kind of basically craft shit to get over certain puzzles is so fucking satisfying when you get it right. And just some of the shit I've seen on Twitter of
Breath of the Wild speedrunners are gonna beat that game in 10 seconds.
Oh, bro. Like some of the shit I've seen on Twitter of people making these like insane contraptions, and like I saw a Japanese dude on Twitter who just made like a full-on Gundam.
Holy shit!
He made like a functioning Gundam that just fucking walks and shoots lasers through his hands and shit, and just destroys a bokoblin village. And so it's just like I feel like the creative side of like Breath of the Wild is just like amplified tenfold in this new game.
People have been really creative about how to torture fucking Koroks.
Or
whatever, right? I've seen so many Twitter memes and Twitter threads being like, "This is how we've committed war crimes against Koroks." Here, a thread.
Isn't it the same map as Breath of the Wild?
It's pretty much the same map, but now there's like an extra layer above it and an extra layer below it. So now it's literally like Minecraft, where it's like they have like kind of this underground layer, which is an exact copy of the surface, but it's like the Nether in Minecraft.
Right.
So you go down and like the enemies are harder. It's harder to heal. There are more resources and stuff like that. And then there's also islands in the sky that you can fly up to, and there's like extra little layers there. So the world is like 3 times bigger now from the Breath of the Wild.
I just know it's gonna be addictive.
I know. I've been playing it for the past like. I think I've already sunk like 40, 50 hours into that game.
Jesus.
Yeah, it sounds like it's even bigger than Breath of the Wild, which I already put enough hours in.
Yeah.
Are the puzzles any better? Because I know like one of the big criticisms was that it's missing the Zelda magic because the puzzles aren't as good as they were before.
I think the puzzles in this one, at least for me personally, are a little bit more challenging because you do have to kind of get more creative with the puzzle. I mean, some of the puzzles are like just a walk in the park, where it's just like more of a tutorial on how to use certain abilities and shit. But like some puzzles, I was like legitimately stuck on for like a long time. Like others, I literally just had to like cheese it. Just being like, I'm pretty sure this is not the intended way of doing it, but I still got through it.
I think they know that. I think they know that you can cheese it, and I think that's part of the joy, right?
I think so.
Cheesing a game is fun.
It's like, oh, I'm pretty sure this isn't the way I was supposed to do it, but I still did it anyway, and that's pretty hype.
I feel like you're smarter than the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Like Zelda, like Breath of the Wild, especially, and the new game as well. It just seems like a game built for speedrunners.
Oh,
speedrunners are like frothing at the mouth, being like, how can we break this game in the most efficient way possible?
I mean, I think like the Breath of the Wild 80% speed run is like 20 something minutes or something.
Yeah,
which is like stupid to watch. It's just like I've never seen a game from like the modern era be that fucking destroyed by speedrunners. Like ever. It is beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I really want to play. I do really want to play. It's just I also want a life as well. And I know it's like one or the other, which is the big reason why I still haven't played Elden Ring. It's just like it's those games where like I know once I start, I'm not stopping until I finish it.
I mean, that's why I was like kind of dreading stepping into Honkai.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I already am obsessed with one game.
Yeah, but that game plays itself.
I do not want to balance the other game.
Okay, but like the thing, okay, part of the reason I am into games like Honkai and Genshin and stuff like that, it's because are they better games than other AAA games out there? I would say, especially Genshin, no. Genshin is not better than something like Breath of the Wild, but is it more manageable to play through a game like that for me? At least for me, than a AAA game that I'm going to spend hours and hours in. Yes, it is more manageable. I can load up Honkai on my phone and I could play for a little bit, and that's no issue at all. When I get into a game like Zelda or Elden Ring, I'm like there for 8 hours.
Yeah. Well, that's how like the game, I feel like they almost trick you, like mobile games like that, because like it's like how sometimes you think that like watching a YouTube video is easier and more convenient than watching Netflix or something, because you think that like, oh, I can just pause at any time and stop.
Yeah,
and it's low risks. It's not a big thing. It's not like a AAA movie, right?
Yeah.
But I think you end up probably spending more time playing like Honkai or Genshin or whatever, because you feel like it's so easy to play it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just because you feel at any time you can stop and there's no pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like because they allow you and almost encourage you, and it's advertised in a way, and the game feels low stakes, so you don't feel like, oh, I'm just gonna play a little bit, and then you play for like 5 hours and then just tune out. Like, I mean, Elden Ring is more like, I'm committing to this boss. I gotta do this.
Like for me, that's what makes gacha games so, I guess, appealing to me, is that there is that choice. There is that choice between like, okay, sometimes I just want to grind out the story of Honkai and Genshin and I play for like 5 hours or something. That's great. And then sometimes I can just load up my phone, do like a single side quest, and then that's completely fine as well. I'm always making some kind of progress, and depending on what my schedule is like and what my life is like at the time, it always fits the schedule, like no matter what. And that's what makes it just so much more accessible, and the fact that you can play it fucking anywhere. You can play it on the PC. I sound like an ad read right now, but that genuinely is why I play them. Because it's just suited towards my gaming style.
You just need that experience that blows your mind, and that's like Elden Ring. Sometimes you just need that.
I don't know, okay.
Life-changing experience.
Okay, back to the hashtag ad, but Honkai has like genuinely surprised me. I genuinely think it is a good game with moments that I did not expect from a gacha game. Like there are moments later in the story, which I'm not gonna spoil, but like made me like genuinely like, holy shit, this is not just gacha game good. This is just like good now, and it's like. It worries me as well, just because it's making a shit ton of money. And while I do like Honkai, I don't want every game in the gaming industry to be like a gacha game, because at the moment right now, Honkai feels more like a AAA game with gacha elements, right? Which
I don't know. I mean, I think the turn-based combat when that's happening, I'm like, oh, this is good. And we go to the overworld, I'm like, oh. You know what I mean? Like it's a great game. It was fun. It was just like, oh, this feels like super limited and very like, I don't know. It didn't feel that.
I haven't played enough to say any opinion, but like from the little I did play last night on stream, I'm a little bit on Connor's side in that instance, where like the actual gameplay, like battle elements.
Yeah, I think that's like really polished.
Incredible.
Oh yeah,
they've really polished.
They've crushed it on the turn-based combat. They managed to make turn-based combat feel kind of exciting. Which I like, because normally I don't like turn-based combat because I just think it's boring. But they've done it in a way that feels pretty active, and it's very flashy.
Yeah, I made the joke on stream yesterday where I was like, oh, finally, I can play a turn-based RPG and not have a dead stream. Because you play any other turn-based RPG game on stream and it just does not do well. You can't really play like a Final Fantasy on stream and it do well consistently.
I mean, I just played the RPG as well, right? And that was turn-based combat. And that did like, I mean, it sounds fucking weird to praise a dismemberment system, but like, that was a kind of gameplay that was kind of exciting.
And
the real
because there was that tension there, right?
Yeah, and the fact that if you get hit, there was consequences. Whereas in a lot of turn-based combat, and kind of in Genshin too, I don't really fucking give a shit if I die. I feel like there's no consequences for dying or failing a fight, so I rarely care.
I think I'm starting to get sold on turn-based combat. There are still some systems like it's so.
Join us.
I mean, it's so weird, right? Because I really like the Honkai turn-based combat system, but that's just because there's something about it that just feels so satisfying, and I don't know why it's really satisfying. Maybe it is the flashiness. Maybe it is my monkey brain going, ooh, pretty colors, like good sounds.
The ults are pretty fucking flashy.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's not that complicated compared to other turn-based combat systems I've played. In fact, it's very, very similar to the Trails series, which I got into before.
You look at Final Fantasy and you're like, how many fucking magic spells do I have? And I got to manage all the buffs and debuffs. Like Honkai has like 2 buttons and an ult.
Yeah, and I will say this, as someone who's like now finished the first 2 games of like the Trails series, I fucking hate the combat system, man. It's turn-based and it's more complex than Honkai, but I just find it boring, man. It is, to me, it's just boring, and I don't know why. Maybe it is. Maybe I am just a basic ass gamer who wants pretty colors and nice music. But that to me, like
that's important though.
Music is such a big factor in whether I enjoy video games, especially if I'm doing something as mindless as like turn-based combat.
That's why Persona is the GOAT.
Yeah. That's why Persona is the GOAT.
That's the whole reason why.
And like one thing I'll say, like Honkai has fucking great music, and I'm like, that's all I need.
They did not have to go that hard.
They went so fucking hard.
The boss theme, they did not have to go that hard.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you find that turn-based combat almost benefits when it's simpler as opposed to being very complicated?
I think there's a fine balance. Whereas, like, I've played like a variety of like super simple turn-based to like
what's like simple, like Pokemon?
Yeah, Pokemon is very simple, right? It's you choose between 4 moves at most, some item management, and that's about it, and party management, right?
Yeah.
Whereas you play, like some early Final Fantasy games, for example, where it's like, or like, some of the Dragon Quest games where you just have like every character has like 70 different spells, 70 different items you can choose from.
I think it suffers quite a lot when it's overcomplicated, because you just like, you look online, you're like, here's the most broken combo that you can do that one-shots enemies. Because the devs didn't think about combining fucking stupid spells together like this. And it's like, because how could you have? And the game's out and you can't patch it. And so like, maybe there's just, when it's too complicated, I always find there's either, you always you're either completely over-optimized and you're one-shotting everything later on in the game, or you're completely under-optimized because you're playing the game normally and you're like, I don't fucking know how this all interacts.
Yeah. Like, I think there is a balance. There's like a golden spot where there is some complexity to it, but there's not too much that you kind of get overloaded because
like pretty straightforward, right?
Persona is just like you do physical attack, you shoot a weapon, or you use spells. That's
nice.
For me, like Persona has that perfect balance.
Yeah.
Some more traditional JRPGs, like I'm gonna go back to Trails, for example, which, you know, on top of its combat system, it has like the equipment system as well. Yeah. And there are so many different fucking ways you can build a character, which is like great to some people, but I'm just like,
too much.
I just like, because here's the thing, for like in Trails, like it goes through like stages. So you have like, you have like a certain storyline, then you go to the next storyline, then the next storyline. And I was like looking up guides, and apparently there's like optimal builds you can do for each character that suits that like mission the most. And I'm like,
I hate those.
No,
and I'm like, this is too much prep time for me to play the game. I just want to play the game. I want to get through the story. But sometimes I spend like fucking hours just going to the shop being like, okay, what are the new items available now? What are the new quartz available now? Okay, how do I optimize these for my party, which is like already out of like 8 members in my party, so you need to choose 4 members from your 8-member party, and then out of those 4 members, you have to decide what equipment you want to give them, how you want to build them, and that's just for one mission. I extrapolate that for like 8 missions in terms of the entire game. I'm like, this is too much.
That was my exact problem with the new Fire Emblem game as well.
Right.
Where it's like, where I was like, that was the one game where I realized I was like, oh, maybe having too many playable characters is actually detrimental to the game. Because the new Fire Emblem game, you can literally play like 40 different characters. And it's like, and there's like guides online of like, all right, so with this character you can do this optimal build, and this character you can do this optimal build, unless you're going to be doing this mission with these characters. And I'm just like, I just want all the cute girls in my team,
a game,
and just make them all OP and just fucking power through it. That's all I want to do.
It's a turn-based combat game with like 4 characters that feel fun to play and all feel very distinct and unique and have good personality and character writing. Is so much more compelling than 50 flashy characters that I can customize in a million different ways. I'm just like, just fucking give me something good. Don't throw a bunch of shit at me that looks pretty.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I know some people really love that aspect. They love like getting the spreadsheet out and trying to optimize the build. I am not that gamer. I want, like, for me, I'm a story kind of gamer. I just want to get through the story and just, you know, I want to feel a little bit rewarded for doing some cool shit in the gameplay, but I don't want to work that hard where I'm literally like spending hours upon hours trying to like read through stats, read through.
I remember in the Fire Emblem one, I was like, all right, I'm gonna see like just what the internet has to say about like which characters might be best. Some motherfucker had created a fucking tier list of like literal tier list of the characters from like S to F, right? And I was like, all right, let's see where my choice of characters are. Majority of them were like D or F, and I'm just like, well, you know what? Fuck this list. I like these characters.
I like
so I'm gonna fucking use them. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like all the top tier characters are like all the boring characters, and I'm like, okay, what's more important, me like having an easy time and like optimizing my gameplay to make it so that I just crush everything, or make it a little bit more challenging but just have the joy of playing the characters I actually want to play as, right? And I'll always take the latter in that instance. And
to me, like, a lot of that's a lot of reason why I don't like turn-based combat. It's because not only the turn-based combat itself, but the prep that comes before the turn-based combat. And I think the 2 games I've played where I've liked the turn-based combat is when they've hit that Goldilocks zone, where it's just you can prep, you can think about your team comp, but it doesn't take too much time and it's still rewarding. And the 2 ones are now Persona and now Honkai, because those have like hit the
Pokemon's good
zone. Pokemon?
I like Pokemon.
I tried getting Pokemon, but it's just too easy. I don't know. It's just too easy.
I mean, that's why people make artificial difficulty.
Yeah, you make challenges out of it.
Nuzlocke and stuff, because it, adds a whole nother layer to it.
I think Nuzlocks are also in that Goldilocks.
Yeah, Nuzlocks are great.
Of like, just, it's challenging enough where you need to do some prep work and you need to think about like team structure, but it doesn't take so much time that it takes the fun out of it.
Right.
And it's like it's super rewarding when you win. It's super punishing when you lose, but it just makes you want to keep coming back, right? Like you've been doing a lot of Nuzlocke recently.
Yeah, I do Nuzlocke. It's fun. People like it. It's easy to understand.
Yeah.
It's like Dark Souls for kids. You know,
Dark Souls baby steps, man.
I like how Dark Souls is synonymous with just difficulty.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Dark Souls invented difficulty, actually. Difficulty in video games didn't exist before Dark Souls.
Definitely not.
That's also, fuck, yeah, sorry, not to go back to it again, but that's one thing I also really liked about that Fear and Hunger game is that, like everything, because all the fights weren't necessary, it was really interesting because, like, you had a talk option with whoever you were fighting.
Right.
And it was always risky to do it because what if you talk to them, they just fucking clap you? And then you're like, shit, I lost a turn. But then, like, some ways, like, the only way to get characters to join a party was mid-fight to talk to them. And this is never explained or anything like that. And it's really interesting.
Of course.
Because it was basically like, how I described it to people and how people described it to me was Undertale meets Berserk. Is essentially that game. Which is why I like that. Because it was like, fighting is cool and it's turn-based combat, but fighting isn't the only option. There's a lot of other ways of approaching
You're
it.
pacifist route.
Yeah.
You can do passive. Well, you actually got to fight some things. You can.
Pacifist route in Berserk. Let's see how well that goes.
It's like if Undertale, but if everyone wasn't reasonable. Like it was like because it's realistic, right? Because some of these things are monsters. They don't fucking want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Of course, the fucking disembodied monster with his dick out doesn't want to talk. Are you kidding me? No, it doesn't want to talk. It wants to kill you.
Yeah.
Why did you try and talk to it, you idiot?
Yeah.
And it punishes you for that. So I like that. That felt real. I think I just need games with stakes. I think that's the problem. Is that turn-based combat, like a lot of RPGs or JRPGs, give you a lot of saves. They're like very, very generous with saves a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And that almost kind of takes away from my enjoyment because I'm like, I just don't feel like I have any difficulty.
You're just too much of a gamer for
I'm
JRPGs,
the complete
man.
opposite. I need to be spoon-fed.
Yeah.
As much.
What the fuck?
Why
Why do you not want to work for anything?
No, I like the idea of Nuzlocke, but like unless the game was designed that way, I'm like, why would I bring artificial difficulties
Because
to
it's
myself?
so much better than the base game. It's way more fun because it's actually like, it's Pokemon, especially like new Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's like goo goo gaga shit. Like that.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah,
gets,
but we're also adults now.
yeah,
so-
I know, but like even like those games that are made for like.
Okay, but
don't know.
here's why I can never do something like a Nuzlocke. Okay,
tell me why.
When I'm playing,
I care about my Pokemon.
I do. I'm
Yeah.
listening.
Okay, I don't know if this is a mental thing, but like when I'm beating a game that is designed to be difficult, it's like this is the way that it is designed, and I'm beating someone else's work. That is their work.
Yeah.
When I'm doing a Nuzlocke, I am putting difficulty upon myself. So basically, the only challenge, the only opponent I'm trying to beat here is myself, because I'm imposing all the difficulty on myself, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to.
I understand that.
Yeah. I don't want to challenge myself. I want to challenge someone else. I want to challenge someone else's design, if that makes sense.
No, that totally makes sense, and I'm normally in the same boat with you.
Yeah.
I think there are just some exceptions where it feels like there is a challenge that is just lacking there, and that artificially making one does kind of solve a lot of the issues perhaps the game might have for somebody who, I mean, I'm not a kid. The Pokemon was not designed for me. But suddenly you add this kind of factor and it becomes a lot more, this is way more engaging suddenly, because now I'm not just going to go willy-nilly into every fight. I'm going to have to actually think. I'm going to have to plan. Just like randomized Nuzlocks are very fun, because you just like, imagine gacha, and then you just don't know where anything is, and you're just like, all right, this character just one-shotted me, and I have repercussions for that. I think that's the problem I have with a lot of games, is that they just often don't punish you ever. But then punishing is a difficult thing to do right. Like, how do you add punishment to a game or stakes to a game that don't actually just take advantage of your time as a player? And and so I understand why a lot of games are like, let's just make a good game. Let's not do that, because also not everyone wants that. And I understand that, and I'm not imposing that on anyone. I'm not being like, you have to play it this way. Like, there's a lot of games out there, especially like story-driven games, where it's like, this is not made so that you struggle. Like, this is made so you can get to story beat to story beat. Maybe there's a hard boss here and there, but the most of it is pretty doable. Right?
Yeah.
And I understand that. But that's why a lot of those games I also don't go for, because that just doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
It's like an interactive movie, right?
Well, yeah, like there's a lot of games I've played where I'm like, this is just the cutscenes, and then the gameplay is a vehicle to the next cutscene.
Yeah.
I haven't played like The Last of Us, but I imagine it's something similar. It's the gameplay's not that incredibly difficult, and it's more so about getting from A to B.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is 100% a story.
Right?
I mean, Last of Us is a HBO series in a video game that they turned into a HBO series.
Yeah. Right? Like, I like that. I would never be like, you should do a fucking no-hit run of Last of Us. It's like, why? It's like you're trying to snort a milkshake. It's like it should not. Yeah. Like it's not made for that at all.
I was actually like, it's so weird now because I did actually watch The Last of Us, which was fucking incredible,
insane,
right? Absolutely incredible. But now, like, after I've watched the HBO Last of Us, I can never go back to playing the game because to me, it's just so much better. I never played the game, right?
But I watched the TV show and I was like, man, they've given such a good depth to these characters. I just can't imagine how it would work in the game anymore. But I'm sure it does, but in my head, I'm like, I just don't know how.
Okay, because as someone who, like, I was very apprehensive about watching the Last of Us HBO series because I'm just like, I've played the game, I know the story, what else is there to do? And I kind of realize now the difference when it comes to presenting a story in a video game versus just watching a movie or watching a TV series, because the story in the Last of Us HBO TV series was just like perfectly paced.
Yeah,
you know, it's just perfectly paced. And then now when I go back to playing the game, I cannot just think, okay, I'm getting the story in little increments, right? Because I need to splice in the gameplay in between those little increments. And you know, Last of Us is it's a fucking great game, but it's not got the greatest gameplay in the world compared to other other games in this genre. What the thing that made it stand out was the writing was so good and the gameplay was good enough to be like, okay, this is good enough. It's not going to revolutionize the industry with its gameplay, but it's good enough to get you through the game and get you through the story. And now that the TV series exists, I'm like, shit. Now that the TV series exists, I feel like it's just completely made, it's completely made what The Last of Us game made that so special, just like mute now. Because I'm just like, if you want to experience the story of The Last of Us, I feel like you should just watch the TV series because that's a better paced story that's told. It's not told better, but the way it's told,
presented better.
The way it's presented, just because of the nature of video games versus movies, it's just a better story. You know,
my favorite episode is like episode 3.
Holy shit! Which wasn't even in the TV.
I loved that. That was such a good episode and such a good way of showing like characterization and how this zombie apocalypse would affect certain people. And I thought that was great.
I need to get on it.
It's so good. That was my favorite episode. But like the one thing that I thought the show did really well, which obviously this is a lot easier to convey, and I felt like when I was watching it, I was like, how would you convey this in the game? Which was they make violence violence against other humans seem like a pretty traumatic thing. For the young, like Ellie, the younger character, to experience. Which in the game, I feel like when it's like, all right, go, you control the character, gun down 50 men. It just doesn't feel, impactful. But like watching maybe an actor do that and the ramifications of that, it definitely feels like, oh, yeah, violence is bad. It's not good.
Man discovers violence is bad.
But in video games, you don't feel like violence is bad because you do it all the fucking time.
Of course,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And maybe I haven't played the game, so I don't know. But the one thing that's the one thing I was like, I wonder if this is why it was so divisive. You know, because obviously I don't even know what happened. I don't even know what happens in the game, but I know the big plot twist because everyone it turned into like a woke right versus left thing. And I wonder if that's almost why. Like the second game was received kind of badly was because maybe the game didn't characterize Joel in a way that made it seem I don't know. It's kind of spoilers, but I don't know. Like kind of questionable, maybe killing people all the time. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the second game took a very, very big risk.
Yeah.
And I actually respect them for taking that risk because I didn't know how they were going to make it a sequel to The Last of Us. And they took a risk with their story. It didn't gel with everyone, but that to me is the sign of, you know, someone who wants to like push the limit and push the storytelling.
I could see HBO doing it right.
Yeah,
I could just see them doing it right. They're like the kings of doing controversial shit and like look at every goddamn Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Like they took The Last of Us, which is already a great story and great characters, and I think they made it better. And that is what I took out from being apprehensive about watching The Last of Us originally. And now I'm just like, if you want to experience The Last of Us, I'd say just watch the TV series because it's so fucking good.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Really fucking good.
Yeah.
Super hyped for the next season in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Never I fucking get that. It's going to be so long.
But yeah, that was, I guess, our mini review of The Last of Us and all the games.
All the other things
All
we've
the
talked
other
about.
things. Thai hentai, please no. Never again. Never again.
Oh, God.
Keep the animation studio.
There's a part of me that wants to go watch it, but
You should just for the experience,
you
man.
should go see it.
all right.
It looks way
interesting.
better than Queen Bee. That's all I'll say.
Hey,
That's
really-
not a good thing.
Queen Bee, they're not that bad.
All right, next week will be my full comprehensive review of My Mother.
Oh my
So look
God.
forward to that. But hey, look at all these patrons though.
Ooh.
They're pretty great. They won't watch Thai hentai. Hopefully, please don't yet. But hey, if you'd like to support the show, then head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter, send us some memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify. And we will see you guys next week.
All right, see you guys. Bye.